Are obstacle course races safe? Or is a better question, are they safe enough? Maybe, maybe not. So today I want to talk about all of our safety doing obstacle course races. I want to talk about what my thoughts are and what we can all do about it. But first off, a little bit of context here and a little bit of an eye-opener. Very, very sadly and tragically, 2 weeks ago, a female elite runner in an obstacle course race in Holland died whilst taking part in the event. Yes, she was an elite, so obviously it's a little bit different from us normal mortals who are not under the time pressure, and this whole event is being investigated by the police and the authorities there. I am sure I speak for all of us when I say that all of our thoughts and prayers are with her family and her loved ones. It's an extreme tragedy. Looking online, some people have said, or I've read reports that say there have been 6 fatalities within obstacle course racing. Some people have said actually it's a little bit more than that. You know, it's not like we have a body that covers every single race around the world. Needless to say, safety is something that is of paramount importance to all of us. There's a couple of things that I've noticed recently that have kind of jumped out on me. Not quite as extreme as what happened to that poor lady, but things that I think can impact how we can enjoy and interact with the course that we are, because we really interact with our courses. You know, we are getting there as hands-on as you can possibly be. I was doing a race this year, and it's a very long obstacle course race. I'm not going to name names. This is not a name and shame type video, but it was a very long one. I'm roughly 3 hours in, so I'm tired. You know, I'm very achy. I'm not at my best condition. And I come across a very, very high tyre wall. I mean, we must be talking, I would say, between 10 and 12 metres. I can't remember exactly, but extremely high. Now, I'm knackered. It's been raining. It wasn't raining at the time when I got there, but it had been raining, so it was wet and slippery. And of course, there's mud. So it's got that greasy, wet type thing. Now, I'm thinking, I've got to climb over that. And then part of me says, well, hold on a second, there's no safety here at all. There's no crash mats, there's no nets, there's no nothing. If you fall off this thing, you are in a world of hurt. I'm not embarrassed to say I walked past it, because I just thought, I'm so tired, I can easily fall off that. And if I don't even want to think about it. Another thing that happened to me recently was I'm doing a race and I'm in a forest area and come to a minor barrier that just got I could almost just step over it. Obviously some people are sort of jumping over it. And there's a marshal there and she said, oh, don't jump over it. There's a tree stump over there. 3 people have broken their ankle in the last half hour. So I'm thinking, oh, well, thank you for telling me. And I very gently kind of climb over and make my way. Now, it wasn't until later I thought, well, hold on a second. 3 people have broken their ankle, even if they haven't broken their ankle, even if they've sprained their ankle, or even if one's broken their ankle and 2 have sprained their ankle, it doesn't matter. Clearly people have got very injured. And this is just in the last half hour. I didn't ask her how many people have been injured on this obstacle throughout the day, because I was a later participant in the race. I wasn't there first thing in the morning. I'm thinking, well, hold on, who built the course that thought it was a good idea to put a obstacle that you might hurdle right in front of a tree stump, which is obviously going to get wet and muddy and slippery. This is England, after all. We do wet and muddy and slippery. So, like, bad course design. And then secondly, when they spot something like this happens, which clearly they had because she's telling me there's at 3 in the last half hour, why was someone not spraying bright orange paint or something over the tree stump so people could really easily see it? Because what if this wouldn't have been distracted and I've jumped over it, which clearly people were doing? Or better still, why isn't the tree stump taped off? Or why still have that particular obstacle, which was a nothing obstacle? This wasn't a feature obstacle, but why have it where people can get injured when they've clearly identified many people are getting injured on this obstacle? Well, to me, that's just poor management, poor decisions within that particular race, because people are getting injured, people are getting hurt, people are having their day ruined, and if they have broken their ankles, they've got weeks of recovery. Now, I know that you go to these races and people say, oh, you know, the people sort of narrating the start, and they say to you, if you're not sure about an obstacle, then you shouldn't do it. And absolutely, if you're not sure about an obstacle, you should not do it. But at the same time, we are trusting these people to be experts in obstacle course racing design, to be experts that they have done their due diligence, and the obstacles that we are going to encounter have an appropriate level of safety. Now, I don't want to see the obstacles neutered, but I think there's a horrible thing for some course designers and obstacle course designers or obstacle designers where they think that bigger is better. And that's not true. Bigger is bigger, better is better. They're not always the same. I've done some fabulous obstacles which I thought were brilliant, and they weren't massive, they were just good, they were fun, they were challenging. They don't have to be so big where there is a proper risk. Or I've done races recently where some of these big obstacles weren't even working, and you're like, well, there's workmen screwing it together where clearly bolts or things had come undone, and that gives you no confidence when they've got to shut an obstacle down in the middle of a race. Bear in mind, a race only lasts a weekend, maybe even one day, so well, how well have you built it if you've got to screw up bolts and tighten it up in the middle of a race? So clearly, in my opinion, some of these obstacles could either be designed better or built better for the purpose, built better for us to be either safer or more reliable or just less chance of causing any injury. And it's easy just to point the finger at the designers, and I don't want it to be about that. They can say, oh, well, you've signed a disclaimer. Yeah, but you guys are the experts. We trust you to give us stuff that's safe. What I would say is that us as a community, and I think the obstacle course racing community is brilliant. I think the way that we all treat each other on the course is fantastic. It's almost like nothing else, how we will all help each other, complete strangers. You'll help them get up and push them up and lift them up and pull them up. People we've never met before in our lives, and chances are we'll never meet them again. And we are all there helping each other. I think we might be able to do a little bit more, is that when we do a race, if we see things as a community, we think, yeah, that's not clever, that's not as safe as I would want it to be, then we can email the people, the course directors, the course administrators. If it's a well-known brand, we can write to them and say, we loved the race, however, that bit we didn't think was safe. If enough people write to them and say to them, we liked your race, but this particular obstacle, we don't think you've designed it well enough, they'll get that feedback from us, and hopefully they can do something with it. And that which will make it safer the next time, the next course, so that we will then all have a better and a safer time, because all of us want to be able to go and do a race and come home safely and not have, broken ankles or anything like that. But we also want obstacles that we're not looking at thinking that's just not safe, or it's not safe when it gets wet, which is going to happen a lot, whether you're in England, Wales, Scotland, or anywhere else in the world. Bad weather can happen pretty much anywhere. And these obstacles need to be challenging and fun and hard, but fairly safe, or an acceptable level of safety. So I would respectfully suggest to all of us that when we see these things where we think that's not safe, is we feed it back. The power is with us as a community to communicate what we like and what we're not happy with, and we let them know. And that's it. That's my opinion. It's my 10 pence worth. If you've got your own thoughts, your own ideas, please leave it in the comments below. We'll share it with everybody. Let's make this a talking point to all of our races, and much better and safer, because we all want all of us to come back injury free so we can go and do more. And with that, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this is relevant to you. I hope this gets you thinking, and I really appreciate any feedback on it. I'll see you on the next one.